Is the bubble gonna burst for the NCAA and college basketball players? We'll find out. Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy J-Rod back at it again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the G League in college basketball, more specifically Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd choosing to forego college and play for the G League. Now if you don't know, Jalen Green is a shooting guard. Most of the year it was projected on 24/7 Sports that he was going to go pro, and surprise, surprise, he decided that he's going to go pro. But he'll be playing for the G League, for their program that they set up about a year or two ago. And Isaiah Todd, originally committed to Michigan, decommitted, and now is going to the G League as well. So it's a bad day in Michigan. So it's just like every other day. Nah, but seriously though, this move has a lot of people thinking, is this going to become the new fad for college players playing in the G League? I just have a few thoughts about this. Number one, I will say the bubble will not burst, mainly based on the fact that the NCAA has come up with a new rule to allow players to profit off of their likeness. So even though that there's players that won't be getting paid from actually playing, they'll still be able to make money through sponsorships and endorsements. But the NCAA says they're gonna monitor it, so it's within reason, whatever that is. And there's already an appeal with going to college. Obviously, you're still around your peers. You get nationally televised games as well. And also, one of the biggest ones, we can't just act like we don't know what this is. I mean, do I even have to say one of the appeals of being a top ranked college basketball player going to college? Do I have to say it? I don't think I have to. You already know what it is.
We've been waiting for you all summer, and we're so glad you're finally here! Woo!
So, with all those things included, especially with the rule allowing you to profit off of your likeness, I think that that is going to allow them to at least, say, you know what, I'm still going to go to school because I can still make money. I can still play for this large school with a great culture and still have all the benefits of going to a big name campus. One person might be wondering now, what if the NBA changes their rule and says, you know what, players can come right out of high school? I think that would be a weird move from the NBA, simply because y'all just made this program, and then it kind of be like negating all of that if you were to make the rule saying you could come straight out of high school. But they still could do it. They still can make the rule. So if they make that rule, you know what's gonna happen? The NCAA is going to change their rule. So instead of it just saying you can make money off your likeness, the NCAA is gonna say, you know what? Schools, you can pay these players all you want. Because if the NBA actually does that, say you could come right out of high school, all right, and you don't have to be forced to play in the G League, there's going to be an increase, a larger increase of high school players saying, I'm going to put my name in the draft, all right? So the NCAA is like, yo, we cannot lose out on players like a Zion. Okay, we can't lose out on players like that. So we gotta find another way to keep them so we can make money, all right? People think that the NCAA and the NBA are in cahoots. No, it's not. They're not like that. Because if they were in cahoots, the NBA would not make the G League program, okay? They wouldn't. So they're not in cahoots, all right? I think the NCAA made that rule that they could make money off their license in response to the NBA making up the G League program. Now, some people might say, oh, but Jordan, you gotta look at the trends of how many players are actually starting to do this prep to pro thing. The first time we saw it in the modern era, it was Thon Maker. Forgot what class that was. I think it might have been the class of 2016, 2017. Can't remember. But this year we have 4 players that are going from the prep to pros, including, as you already may know, like I said, Isaiah Todd, Jalen Green. But also we have Marjon Beauchamp. He said that earlier in the year. I think he's from Washington, the state of Washington. Lastly, we have Kenyon Martin Jr. He's like a PJ Tucker type player. He's like a 6'6", combo forward or a wing. I don't know, he plays weird. He used to play for Sierra Canyon, now he doesn't. He's going pro. Last year you had 3 players, including RJ Hampton, who went to play in the NBL, LaMelo Ball, who went to play in the NBL, and also Terry Armstrong. I bet you don't know who Terry Armstrong is, because I didn't know who he was either. He barely played in the NBL, right? He didn't even average a point a game. And then the year before that, the class of 2018, there were only 2 players who left from high school and went straight to the pros in the top 100 of the recruiting class. All right, I have to specify that. You can see that there is a slight increase, but it's not as big as people are speculating it to be and making it out to be. So with this alone, I can say right now, I don't think that unless there's a big change in rules in something, that this is going to be a trend that just goes from like 4 players a year to like 10. All right, and I think that 10 would still be the cap, because like I said, as the NCAA is evolving, all right, they're still not great right now. They're not even that good. As the NCAA is evolving, that's going to make the appeal of going to a big college even better for these athletes. Do I see the trend like starting to, increase? Probably, definitely, but it's not going to be that high. I don't think this is going to be like something. I mean, you still saw Zion go play for Duke. You still saw RJ Barrett go play for Duke. When the #1 player in a class chooses to play pro instead of college, now that's something. Now that is big. And another person may ask, well, Jordan, this is serious. This is serious because they're going to the G League. They're not going to the NBL. They're not going to a Euro League. They're going straight to the G League. They're not going to China. Why are they going to the G League? This means the G League has leverage, right? No. Think about it. What are we going through right now? All right, we're going through the Verona. I have to call it that because I don't want to get this video demonetized. So since we won't have a vaccine for another year, who knows if colleges will allow students back on campus. If they don't allow students back on campus, how are they going to practice? So really, the pro leagues are only going to be the ones who might be allowed to play, all right? And you might still be restricted travel to other countries. So if you decided to go to the NBL this year, they might not let you fly to Australia in the near future. So you can't practice with the team. So what makes sense? Staying home. The NBA, they're gonna open back up sometime, and so will the NBA G League, but there might not be fans watching the game, but they'll still be the G League. So the players are like, you know what? It makes sense to just sign with the G League team rather than going out there where I could probably make more money, but it just makes more sense to sign with the G League team right now. And that's what they're doing. It makes perfect sense. I understand the move. And the G League might not even have games, but they still might be able to practice with those G League teams. I don't know how the sports world is gonna be in the next 12. I don't know how the world in general is going to be in the next 12 months. This next year is going to get crazy. And also, a lot of people are making a big fuss about Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd. But one thing you gotta remember about Jalen Green was that, like I said earlier, if you went on 24/7 Sports, his crystal ball prediction was always saying pro. It barely said a school in there, so people already thought like, oh, this dude's going pro. He's going pro. Like, they didn't even bother. They didn't even bat an eye, all right? And yeah, also with the college appeal, some people might say that you have a better chance to flourish in a college system rather than going straight into the pros, because some of these pro teams might not give you that play. They might not give you play. So you're just basically going to get drafted off of potential and really nothing else unless you actually produce, because LaMelo Ball and RJ Hampton were able to produce while they were over in the NBL. Terry Armstrong did not. Did he get drafted? Or is he going to get drafted? I don't think so. So it's a risky move, all right? So if you're a top pick, you're gonna get guaranteed 35 plus minutes a game, even if you go to a big time school. But if you go overseas, if you go to a EuroLeague team, or if you go to China, that might not be the case, all right? And you may get treated differently, all right? But the G League is different. But also in the G League, you got dudes who are like 24, 25 who are hungry to get an NBA contract. So it's tough down there. A lot of college players, though, they know they're not going pro, so their mindset is not the same as dudes in the G League who believe this is their last shot to get an NBA contract. The mindset's not the same. Who knows? I don't know, but what do you know? Anyway, this has been another J-Rob video. Comment below what you think is gonna happen with all these players in the near future. And as always, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Peace. Ballin' too hard through the net, swish. I'm coming with the heat, you need protection. You'll be doomed if you enter my section. Yeah, I'm coming.